Hi, this is Melanie, movie Mavigal for Pardesi. I saw 2 Malayalam films this weekend, both involving interfaith relationships. And one was the Mohanlal film, His Highness Abdullah, and the second was Annayum Rasoolum. So that means Anna and Rasool. I have never really gotten the whole Fahadh Faasil hype. I guess, and this film showed me why everyone is so crazy about his acting, because I thought this one, I really, really liked his part in this film. He plays a Muslim taxi driver who lives in Kochi, and the opening scenes, he picks up somebody who has just come home from working abroad, and they just bond over shared love of a film song that comes on the radio. They just strike up a friendship. So this other friend is Christian. Rasool's main buddies, one is a Muslim, one is a Christian. It takes a long, lengthy, slow build-up. We learn about the friendship of these young men. We learn about so much about their daily lives. Very modest apartment that Rasool lives in with his brother. There's all sorts of stuff about his brother wants to get a passport, and the police keeps harassing him because he'd been in juvenile detention. It seemed to be a lot about how the Muslims there maybe were not treated fairly all the time. So that was an undercurrent story. At a festival, Rasool happens to see this girl Anna, and she's just so luminously beautiful to him, and he's so shy in how he approaches her. One time, he's a taxi driver. One time he happens to pick up her family and drop them off, and they go into a church or something. Anyway, she leaves her purse in the car. He takes out the purse and he gets her cell phone number and starts sending her these sweet little texts a couple times a day. Just good night, spelled G-U-D, have a good morning, things like that. And she lives on an island, I guess it's called in Kochi, called Viapen, and so he starts taking that ferry with her in the morning and in the evening just to see her. It could have been kind of creepy, stalkerish, but she didn't seem to take it that way. And one day when he's sick and he's missing from the boat, she gets worried and she actually texts him back. But then she's afraid. She's always afraid. She's afraid it's not going to work out because she's Christian and he's Muslim. And he keeps pushing. Why won't it work out? Well, one of the issues is that her brother is a hoodlum who has gotten into an altercation with Rasool's friends. So there's all sorts of backstory of things happening between these two communities. Rasool's friend is doing something shady. We're not quite sure what's going on. Definitely Anna's family, there's some sort of a weird dynamic going on in their family. And she just seems, she tells him at one point, I was ready to give up before I met you. There's another man, another widower in the community that's after her and wants to marry her. It reminded me in some ways of Romeo and Juliet, where you have these star-crossed lovers who just seem to have this pure love for each other, and all of this stuff is happening around them to keep them apart. Warring families, fights of honor among young men, and Rasool gets wrapped up in all of that. The second half, things turn get intense. So we've had a long buildup of this romance and the beauty of it, and just the smile that he gives when she responds back to him and allows him to court her. Just wonderful, so wonderful. But then I was almost like, it's too good, something bad is going to happen. I'm not going to spoil it, but let me just put it to you this way. I was crying at the end of this film. Oh my gosh, sometimes Malayalam films are just so melancholy, but it was just so beautiful. And I saw that this film won a cinematography award, and there were some shots that of the sunset, even over kind of like shipping container rigs and things like that, that just were beautiful. So just showing me parts of the city that I don't think I'd ever seen before. And it was just fascinating seeing this everyday life. And the fact that Anna lives on an island, that has meaning. The fact that Rasool lives in the more bustling part of the city, that has meaning too. I can't say a lot more without spoiling the film and spoiling the plot. Sunny Wayne plays the friend of both Anna and Rasool, who I'm not sure where I have seen him before, but he's kind of the narrator of the whole story. And basically, he learns, the point of the voiceover is he learns from this love to take a chance on his own life. And it seems like a lot of the characters also learn from the pure love that these two, Rasool and Anna, had. Subin Shahir plays his friend, Rasool's friend Colin. So I know he's also a director, but it's fun to see him in acting parts. I think he's very, very good as an actor as well. This film was directed by Rajiv Ravi, who, this was, I think, his first complete directorial debut of a feature-length film. I think he had done cinematography and assistant director on other people's films. But notably, this is his first film, and then he went on to make Kamati Padam, which is one of my all-time favorite Malayalam films. I really liked this one. Was a little slow sometimes in part, but it was so beautiful to watch, and just showing this life of people who are more on the edge of society, who are lower class people. And to me, it was just fascinating. All the parts of their everyday life in Kochi I found fascinating. So highly recommend this film, and I just finally get why Fahadh Faasil is so renowned. It was really, really good in this film. I didn't like him as much in Iman. He only had, you know, a small part to play in things like Bangalore Days. This film really showed off his talents. The young actress Andrea Jeremiah was also quite good. Most of the film is a lot of just longing looks between people and shy glances. And so she didn't have a lot of dialogue, but she said so much with her eyes. I guess she's known more actually for being a playback singer, but this, I thought she did quite well. The meatier, flashier role was Fahadh's role. Thumbs up for this Malayalam film, even if it made me cry. If you like this Malayalam film review and you'd like to see more film reviews, please press that like button, that share button, and follow us here on the Pardesi channel. And also join us on Twitter and Facebook at Pardesi YT.